Hi guys, welcome again to this continuation of the previous video. In this one we are going to learn how to create a quick automation user CRM and web form. Let's get started. If you haven't watched the previous video, here is the link. In that video we connected our website with our CRM using Webforms. Check it out. We are going to create two simple automations. So when the client submits an inquiry via the web form that we just created, the client gets an email straight away with some valuable information. The main objective of all of these things that we are doing is so we can give the client a good experience. And what is best that a welcome email straight away telling the client thanks for sending your information, here is some value from us, and we'll be in touch with you soon. So we are in Pipedrive, and then this is the first time that we are going to create automations. For doing that, we go to this icon up to the right corner, we go to workflow automations. If you guys haven't created an automation, Pipedrive, that's something that is really useful. They give you templates or automations pre-done. So all you have to do is change in places the actions that needs to happen. I think the best way is if you create yours from scratch, so you get to understand, and the more you create, the more useful will they be. But again, if you haven't done this at all, it's always good to have a look in this template section. There'll be lots of things for you to do, but again, let's just do it from scratch. It's not complicated really, and it will give you a lot of value if you learn how to do it. So we just go to add a workflow, and then we create one. So this is what an empty workflow looks like. So the first thing we need to do, the first part of the automation, it's we're going to get CRM to send a welcome email to the client as soon as the client submits a form. For this, we are also going to use templates. If you haven't watched it, there is a video about it. Here is the link. Or if you don't know how to do it, if you want to learn how to do it, please go and check it out. So what we are going to do here in this space, first of all, is rename the automation we want to, so we know which one it is in case that we have many. And then in this space we are going to leave for now triggered by me only. So the first thing is add a trigger. Trigger just means what is going to activate the automation. So when we created the form on the previous video, we set up the system so when the client submit the form, the system creates a lead. So then in this case, lead will be our trigger. It's Pipedrive. It's very intuitive, and as soon as you click, it will kind of drive you to the next thing that you need to set up, giving me three options. Do you want this to happen when a lead is created? Do you want this to happen when a lead is updated? Or do you want this to happen when a lead is deleted? In this case, we want this when the lead is created. So then we go to apply trigger. This is one of the things that I like the most about Pipedrive. I said it in previous videos, they do have a pretty nice layout that is pretty straightforward to understand, and it's just really easy to follow. They give you in a graphic way steps 1 to 3, and they give you access to edit those steps from the same graphic way. Alright, the next thing we need to do is then add the condition for the action or the condition for the trigger. So we just say we want this to happen when the lead is created, but here is the trick. We don't want this to happen to every lead that is created, because at the same time we might be creating leads ourselves. This is really important to understand because these settings usually apply across the CRM. In this example, we want this to happen only with the leads that come through the website, because you might be as well creating leads manually or by any other means. So in this case, what we want is all the lead that the source is web form. then apply conditions, and then we are going to add the next thing. Here the options are a little bit more interesting, so then we can have condition, action, or delay. We're going to go with action this time because we want something to happen. And then as we go next, it's giving us few options. So as you can see, this just means that the system is able to perform activities with one of these or every one of these options. In this case, we're going with email, and then we're going to send email using templates. If you haven't done it before, this is the link to a video that might be useful for you. So we go to next, and then we are going to leave this to and template. This is going to ask what components of the email are going to be modified by the automation. We want to keep it simple. We just want the automation to say this is going to, and this is the template that we're going to be utilizing. Then we go to next, where it says to is going to be the lead contact person, because we want that email to get sent to the email that was put on the web form. And we are going to select the template. In this case, I have one ready, and it's a welcome email. Where it says email template person, it is the linked person. Usually it's only one option that stays here. Is the person that we are going to send the email the same person that is on the lead? So that's why you need to select linked person. Other options that might be there will be linked account if the contact belongs to a company, or if you want to loop in teams of your member, but usually the first one is there by default. We go to apply action, and that's it. So we have an automation with 3 steps, which is a trigger, a condition for that trigger, and then an action. We hit here active, and we go save. So now the automation is complete. We want to be on top of the clients. Keep in mind that it is really important, and I think the best use for the CRMs is so we can get to the client at the right moment with the right message. So if the template in this automation is telling the client we will be in touch with you in 2 days or as soon as possible, we are making a promise that we need to deliver on. So then the next things will be connecting a simple automation of this. So when the client submits the form, they receive an email, but we also have a flag on the CRM telling us there is something you need to do with this client. So let's go and see what it looks like. So in this case, because I already saved it, I can just basically click again in workflow automations and add a workflow. In this case, I'm going to rename it contact call, and I'm going to add a trigger. Same thing. So a lead, when the lead is created, apply trigger. Same thing, we are doing this for the leads via the web form. So we go when the source of this lead is web form, and then in this case I'm going to go for an action, which is a task or a reminder for us to call the client, but there's many options you can utilize. In these ways will be activity. We're going to go next. We leave these fields as they are. Next, in activity subject is the name, what we want this task to be called. In this case will be contact lead. The type will be a call. As you can see, there's many options there, and I'm going to go in 1 day. We can skip weekends if that is your case, and then it will show you the time zone you are at. Apply action, and then we save, and we are ready to go. Now let's see how it works. So now we are back to the website where I did the web form before. I have started filling in my information, just pretending that I'm a client. And I'm going to go and hit submit. Once the submission is done, it will say thank you and all the messages that we have. So by this point, we have a contact created. We should have an email sent out to that client, and we should have a task to follow up. So let's go and review. So there you go. The lead is there. It says web form done in Valencia, which is my name. The contact is there. As you can see, without us doing anything, the email is personalized. It's picking up the name of the client. That has to do with the templates we configure. And in this case, I'm also using this space to give a link to my CRM YouTube channel, which is the one you're watching now. So you guys can see how these CRM automations are really useful, and it will help you fast tracking those activities that are really time consuming, at the same time that we are giving the client a nice experience. These are activities that they happen again and again and again with all our new clients, but it doesn't mean that the client will be happy with a generic response. So I hope guys you have enjoyed this video. If you like, please subscribe, and I see you next time.